I recently took a 3-day weekend, disconnected, and spent a couple of days on the beach with my wife. No sneaking in work using my phone, only listening to podcasts and audiobooks. Oh, and photographs. I practiced some of the techniques I learned from the Monday Minute a couple of weeks ago. My wife and I were up before sunrise, coffee in hand, and walking for over 3 miles each morning. Upon returning to the hotel, I observed Malachi, the young man who managed our beach chairs and umbrella. He was meticulously setting up for the day. Each group of 2 chairs and 1 umbrella was placed exactly 6 paces apart and in a straight line. The next row was set up identically but staggered 3 paces so everyone had a clear view of the Atlantic Ocean. As I was settling up the second day, I asked him if that was a company policy or if the setup routine was his design. "My design," he proudly replied. He then explained how yesterday's setup was not up to standard. The beach got busier faster than he'd expected, and today he came to work earlier to make sure that he had time to set up correctly. This conversation immediately reminded me of a book I've read a few times, The Gifted Boss. It's around 100 pages, an easy read. The book teaches how to find, create, and retain great employees. When comparing the ordinary versus great employee, the book lists these attributes. The great ones never let themselves do second-rate work. The best are their own worst critics. Great employees have standards that lift us all. Great employees don't have jobs, they have talents. They enter the job market and their talents are spotted, courted, and won over. Gifted bosses find and court highly talented employees. On page 66, there's an entire section dedicated to it, the spotting and courting. I told Malachi I was impressed by his eye for detail and taking the initiative to create an excellent presentation. I explained in architecture that details like these make your works feel elegant, yet people can't exactly explain what it is that makes them feel that way. His eyes lit up, and he shared that he'd always been interested in interior design. I told him I wished I had a position open for him. I'd steal him away. Meanwhile, I invited him to find me in social media and connect. Now, nothing may ever come of it, but I had to give it a try. The Gifted Boss is one of many books I've recommended in the Monday Minute and the 4x Friday, my weekly email blog. Garrett, our communications director, suggested I get more recommendations and we build a web page. This past Friday, you may have received an email asking you what books you found the most valuable in your building design career. In just a few days, we've received a lot of great titles, 51 recommendations so far. The most recommended is Architectural Graphic Standards, and the second most is A Field Guide to American Houses. Other books mentioned more than once include A Pattern Language, Building Construction Illustrated, The Building Code, Get Your House Right, and The Not So Big House. But we're still taking recommendations. If you haven't already, you may still submit yours. Garrett gave us this directive. Learning software is easy. Learning how to design a building is where I'm stuck. Those are the books I'm looking for. Go to aibd.org/buildingdesignerbooks and scroll to the bottom of the screen. It's critical that you use the online form and not email us directly. Handling this much data requires an organization system. By filling out the online form, we can easily store, sort, search, rearrange, and manipulate the information many ways with just a click or two. It's how our small but mighty A-team gets so much accomplished. Plus, we have a modest little gift waiting for you in the confirmation email for taking your time. Meanwhile, you can peek at the webpage dedicated to the books that building designers recommend to building designers. That's right, it's aibd.org/buildingdesignerbooks. For now, you can find a portion of the books found in the bibliography of the CPBD Candidate Handbook. My list of recommended readings is there too, all the ones that I've mentioned in the 4x Friday. It's a work in progress, and I invite you to visit often. The response to Friday's email was outstanding, as I know today's invite to refer your favorites will be. It'll take a little time, but we'll have them all posted, as well as a shout out to you for having referred the book. And if you leave us some comments like what you found so valuable about the book, we'll include those too. The page is going to be an incredible resource because of you. Thanks for your help, and have a triumphant week.